If you are constantly feeling tired, you are not alone. While it's often suggested to eat better, exercise, and sleep more to combat fatigue, it's a far too simplistic approach to a complex issue. In reality, there might be specific aspects related to these three pillars that may be contributing to your fatigue, which you may not be addressing. In this video, I want to talk about possible food, sleep, and exercise-related causes that may be making you feel tired and provide tips on how to address them. Food and drinks related causes: glucose spikes and insulin resistance. Insulin resistance and post-meal glucose spikes can be a cause of fatigue and drowsiness, especially after meals. This happens if our body loses the ability to deliver the sugar from our blood to our muscles, liver, and fat cells. To prevent this, we should prioritize foods with low glycemic loads, such as those rich in fiber, protein, and fats. In general, it's beneficial reducing our carbs intake or learn how to eat them in the right way. I discuss this in more detail in this video here. The best way to learn if we are insulin resistant and if our blood glucose spikes after our meals is by using a CGM or a continuous glucose monitor that measures our blood glucose 24/7. Caffeine. Some people might be sensitive to caffeine without even realizing it, especially if they have not altered their caffeine intake habits in some time. You can test your sensitivity by eliminating caffeine completely for at least a week. If this is too difficult, try avoiding caffeine after 2 p.m. and see if your sleep improves. Alcohol. Alcohol is a depressant, meaning it slows down brain activity, which can cause drowsiness the day after. Although it might be helpful in getting to sleep, it causes poor quality sleep and possibly sleep interruptions during the night. To improve sleep quality, it's best to avoid alcohol before bed. Try not drinking any during the entire week leading up to bedtime, or at least reduce your intake and see if this changes anything. Dinner time. For better sleep, it is recommended to stop eating 2 to 3 hours before going to bed. This allows our digestive system enough time to break down the meal and avoid indigestion. Eating too close to bedtime can cause heartburn and may cause our blood glucose levels to spike since we're not engaging in activities that require our body to use the available glucose in our blood. Microbiome. Studies have shown that there is a link between sleep health and gut microbiome diversity. How can we increase our gut microbiome diversity? By keeping a varied diet and consuming probiotic and prebiotic foods. One simple way to increase variety is to eat a rainbow, meaning by including as many colors as possible in our meals. Additionally, it's been demonstrated that our gut will thrive if we eat 30 or more plant-based foods each week. This is easier than you might think, as nuts, herbs, seeds, legumes, and spices count towards the total, along with fruits, vegetables, and whole grain. Portion size. Tiredness and sluggishness can be a consequence of overeating in one sitting. To avoid this, try reducing your portion size or stopping when you feel satisfied. Ideally, you want to avoid reaching the point where you think, I shouldn't eat more. One way to do this is by eating slowly and being more mindful during meals. Dehydration. Tiredness is one of the symptoms of dehydration. Try to stay hydrated throughout the day by drinking water and unsweetened caffeine-free teas. You could also add natural ingredients like berries, citrus fruits, or herbs to your water to make it more interesting. Micronutrients deficiencies. Fatigue and exhaustion are often caused by deficiencies in essential vitamins and minerals, such as vitamin D, B vitamins, omega-3s, magnesium, and iron. A blood test can detect these deficiencies and your doctor can prescribe it. In the meantime, here are some things we can do to increase our intake of these nutrients. For vitamin D, get at least 20 minutes of sun exposure on 50 to 70% of your skin surface daily during the hours when the sun is less strong. In winter, consider taking a vitamin D supplement. Foods that contain vitamin D includes eggs and fatty fish. For B vitamins, try consuming more salmon, green leafy vegetables, organ meats, eggs, milk, full-fat yogurt, beef, pork, and legumes. This is a long list. Fatty fish is the best source of omega-3. But flax seeds, chia seeds, and walnuts are also good options. For magnesium, try consuming dark chocolate, avocado, nuts, legumes, seeds, whole grain, and leafy greens. For iron, a good option are shellfish, organ meats, red meats, and lentils. To better absorb the iron from plants, like lentils, it's recommended to add vitamin C-rich foods to the same meal. For lentils, for instance, peppers and tomatoes would be a great choice. Sleep-related causes. Recent studies have shown that for optimal health, we should aim to get 7 to 8 hours of good quality sleep each night. Let's explore some of the causes of poor sleep and what we can do to improve it. If you have enjoyed this video so far, please consider liking it and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos that could help improve your life. Dehydration. Yes, we are going to talk about dehydration again because it can be a cause of poor sleep. So we have double reason to stay hydrated throughout the day. Symptoms of dehydration such as headaches, dry mouth, and muscle cramps may make it hard to sleep well. On the other side, if we don't drink enough water during the day and try to compensate at night, we might end up interrupting our sleep because we need to use the bathroom. This could be a big deal, especially for those of us who struggle to fall back asleep. Mouth breathing. Mouth breathing, especially at night, can negatively impact our sleep. In his book, Breathe, James Nestor discusses the benefits of nasal breathing as opposed to mouth breathing. During the night, mouth breathing can disrupt our sleep by causing snoring and a dry mouth. To counteract this, try using mouth tape to keep your mouth shut. If your nose gets congested when you lie down, consider using nasal strips or a nasal spray. Melatonin. Melatonin is a hormone that plays a crucial role in regulating sleep. Insufficient production of melatonin can lead to sleep issues. There are two natural ways to increase melatonin production. Get more sunlight exposure, especially in the morning, and reduce exposure to artificial lights, including lights emitted by electronic devices. I'm personally very sensitive to strong lights coming from the ceiling, and I prefer to have smaller lamps with warm lights. If we must use devices when it's dark, it's better to enable night modes. Cold bedroom. As our body temperature naturally drops at night, it signals that it's time to slow down and rest. Keeping our bedroom cooler can reinforce this natural instinct to sleep. A room that is too warm could potentially interfere with this signal and make it take longer to fall asleep. While I love to sleep in a cool room, I sometimes struggle to fall asleep if I'm feeling too cold. To address this, in winter I use an electric blanket to warm up my bed while I'm reading. Noise and lights. When I was living in Barcelona, I could hear all of my neighbors, so I started using earplugs to improve my sleep quality. If you wake up because of the noise, try using earplugs, or you can try to play some white noise. Light can also be disruptive for some people. It might come from the streets or early sunrises. If this applies to you, consider getting blackout curtains or try using a night mask. Mattress and pillow. Are your mattress and pillow comfortable enough? Do you move a lot during the nights and need a larger mattress? Does your neck hurt when you wake up? Investing in a mattress and pillow that work best for you can drastically improve your sleep quality. Bedtime routine. Having a regular bedtime and going to sleep at the same time every day can be beneficial for some of us. Even better, creating a bedtime routine can work as a reminder for our body and mind to wind down and create space for new habits. When I was single and living in Spain, my bedtime routine was having dinner, doing the dishes, and smoking a cigarette. Nowadays, I don't smoke anymore, and I've added new habits that were on my list for a while, such as having a proper skincare routine, flossing, and journaling. That's also why my husband and I make sure to spend some time together. Before going to bed, I read until I'm almost asleep, then I think of 3 things I'm grateful for that day. Do you have a bedtime routine? Share it in the comments below, I would love to read about it. Exercise-related causes. Late workouts. Late workouts may affect some people's sleep because they might still feel too much adrenaline when they go to bed. However, for others, the exhaustion from the workout can help them fall asleep quickly and sleep more deeply. Personally, I used to work out at night, right before a late dinner, and they used to work well for me. Lately, I prefer to work out fasted in the morning, and I still receive the benefits for my sleep. Life changes, and it's good to adapt our habits to it. Not enough movement. Going to the gym is not enough if we spend the rest of the day sitting down. Depending on our daily activities, it is important to stay active throughout the day. On days when I don't go to the gym, I try to take a walk at some point during the day. Additionally, I am fortunate that I can walk to the co-working space, which adds to my daily step counts. If you're too busy to leave your desk and want to increase your activity level, consider using a standing desk or even better, a walking desk. Now, let's take a look at 2 additional reasons why you might constantly feel tired that are not related to the 3 main pillars of sleep, food, and exercise. Your environment. Exposure to mold, heavy metals, and toxins can be harmful, and one symptom is tiredness and exhaustion. Thyroid issues. Hashimoto's disease is an autoimmune disorder that affects the thyroid gland, resulting in a decline in thyroid hormone production. Fatigue, sluggishness, and increased sleepiness are a few of the symptoms. I personally get my thyroid checked once a year. I know all this might feel too overwhelming and you might not know where to start. My advice is to pick the easiest thing you can do right now. Just choose one. If it's a habit, start implementing it for 1 week. If it feels good, keep doing it until it becomes automatic. Additionally, make sure to do a blood work at least once a year to check for any micronutrients deficiencies. I do have a good news though, and it's that you can take action today by starting with your grocery list. Check out this video here where I talk about 9 foods that can help boost your energy levels.